Hi everybody. I thought that this year I would try to do a video recap of last year and resolutions for the year to come. If you look at my Facebook page, you'll see that I kind of have a running list of resolutions, except for, the year that I had a baby. Hope you understand. So this is this year's edition. And it's always really neat to kind of go back through my calendar for the last year, because I really do. I go back through it very carefully week by week, and if you know me personally, you know that everything that happens in my life goes onto my Google Calendar. So thankfully I have a very complete record of the last year. So I go back through it, and this is a unofficial list of highlights in no particular order, but things that I thought were meaningful or cool or stuff that I did this year that I thought you should know about. Okay, so in no particular order, roughly chronologically, but not really, because towards the end I kind of got messy with my notes. Anyway, so cool things that I got to go see, like performances and stuff. I got to go to the Hogwarts Epic Feast at River Mill before Jamie Keating was no longer at the River Mill. I got to go see David Cross, comedian, with my husband. I also got to go see Puddle's Pity Party with one of my girlfriends from the gym and another one of my very best girlfriends. I got to go see Sherlock's Mystery Dinner Theater during this year, one of the shows, so that was cool. I got to go see several Theater for the Very Young shows with my son, which is awesome. A few other things that I think are of note, roles that I served in. Okay, so I was the Young Gamechangers communications coordinator. So if you're unfamiliar with Young Gamechangers, go to georgiaford.com, maybe .org. I should know that. Anyway, but Young Gamechangers is a statewide program, leadership and action program for the state of Georgia. And actually, we are getting ready to kick off next year's class in Monroe County. So keep an eye out for that, because I'll be helping with that next year as well. I also got to serve on the Young Professionals Executive Board. That's an organization that I've been involved with for a very long time. And this year we celebrated our 10th anniversary. So 10 years is a lot of time to dedicate to an organization. So I'm grateful that I'll continue to be able to be involved on the board next year as well with our new chair, Kristen Fraser. I also have the opportunity and the pleasure of serving on the Minor in Business Board. And so this is an organization founded by a local mover and shaker with fabulous hair always. But she invests in children and helps them learn business skills and how to be entrepreneurs. And so, I'm really honored to be able to serve in that capacity and to get to work with the kids and provide workshops and stuff like that from time to time. A couple of other highlights. I got to judge Strut the Hooch. Strut the Hooch is a ridiculous parade by our Captain Hooch, Steve. And I had the opportunity to serve as a judge this year with a few other friends. So that was kind of fun to see. You can just come and strut. It doesn't matter what your costume. You don't have to have a costume. You can just come walk in the parade. And that's Strut the Hooch. And so that was fun. I got to serve on the Table steering committee. This was the second year that we did On the Table, which is a community-wide engagement, conversation effort to try to figure out where there are opportunities for our community to connect, build relationships, grow, so that all of us can prosper and thrive. And I got to be a candidate with my friend Tamika for the Maestro for a Moment with the Youth Orchestra of Greater Columbus, which, as it happens, translated itself into a new opportunity. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. I am serving right now, and I will finish serving in the next month as a volunteer team captain for Super Bowl 53. No, I don't get to go to Super Bowl 53, but I did get some pretty cool swag that I will get to wear while I'm volunteering. But I am a team captain, so that's pretty cool. I did a boudoir shoot this year with my friend Jess Jones, who photographed our wedding. And let me tell you, ladies, if you've never done a boudoir shoot, that is a gift to yourself. Yeah, you can rationalize it. It's a gift to your significant other, whatever. The pictures are going to be gorgeous, but just the experience of really just relishing in your femininity and the pictures that you'll see later that really highlight your best assets, because we're all our own worst enemies, right? So highly recommend you look into doing something like that for yourself next year. I did a Spartan sprint this year. Holy smokes, that's one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. So the Spartan sprint race, it's a 5K, roughly 5K obstacle race. So I got to do that with some friends this year. That was a very, very fun challenge. I look forward to trying that again next year and not skipping so many obstacles and therefore not doing so many burpees. Okay. I got to volunteer wrangle for a lot of different events, like the not the Way Down Film Festival, the Wild and Scenic Film Festival. It's the first time we did that in Columbus, and it's part of a larger film festival focused on the environment and conservation and things like that. So that was pretty cool. As per usual, got to volunteer coordinate with my partner in crime, Nikki, at the steeplechase. That's always fun. Continued to coordinate our Mensa dinners for our local group, as well as volunteers for Math Counts, which is a middle school math competition in the spring. Kind of running down the end of the highlights. So as you can see, I've had a very widely varied year. Certainly a lot of change. I got to go to a couple places. I got to go to Salt Lake City with work for a conference, which was amazing. I got to go to Colorado Springs to serve a client with work. Also amazing. I got to welcome my uncle here from Korea. He spent about 2 weeks here in the States, and we got to take him to Callaway Gardens, which was really nice to get to spend some time with a family member I haven't seen for about 10 years. Had another friend come visit from the Pacific Northwest. I hadn't seen her since high school, so that was pretty cool. Christine, awesome. Very glad you got to come. I managed to conquer some new certifications at the gym. So I am now body pump certified. I'm now body flow certified. In a few weeks, I'm going to go through CX Works training. But that is one of the areas of my life that has contributed a great amount of change. If you know that I've been working out for a little while, I'm a group fitness instructor, and I fell in love with the programs created by MOSA, Group Power, Group Fight, Group Groove, all those programs. And so still grieving a little bit, just because they brought so much to my life, and they've changed my life from the inside out. And so that's 10 years of programming that I'm like putting to rest. And so forgive me as I grieve, but I am excited to be able to bring body pump and body flow to our members at Max Fitness, because I think they're really going to like that. It's certainly a different style of training while still kind of the same, but I think they're going to enjoy the new challenges that's going to bring. As I mentioned a hot second earlier, the Youth Orchestra of Greater Columbus, I got a chance to be a maestro candidate, but now I serve as the marketing director, which means that I get to post on social media, I get to write press releases, I get to just engage the community and help raise awareness about this wonderful asset that we have for young musicians in our community. And finally, but not least, I quit my job this year. And I got a real estate license, and so now I'm a realtor full-time, and so that has certainly been a whirlwind the last third of the year, that shift in my life, and it is truly a paradigm shift. And in 2018, I am so thankful and grateful that I've been able to help 3 families so far. One family selling the first home that they ever bought, and moved in together as a married couple. Another family bought a home for their mother, so that way she could remain close to them, a little closer anyway. And then the third family bought their very first home, like as a family. And I gotta tell you, I'm sure every closing is going to be meaningful, and like I'm a sappy person, and I get that, but it really meant a lot to be able to work with some friends on that last closing where, it's that family's first home. So shout out to all of my clients that I am currently working with as well. I am very fortunate to have 2 clients and friends that are under contract buying their first homes. So that's a niche that I think I might be interested in really specializing in, because there's something to, really walking a buyer through that process, because it's scary as hell. Let me tell you, you're about to put a whole lot of money on the line for a house that you've seen like twice. You walk through it and you're like, this is it. So it's, I feel very fortunate that I am able to lead my friends and my clients through this process. So that's something that I hope that I will be able to hone in the new year. I also hope that I'll be able to really focus on honing my skills on the seller side. As I mentioned, I was fortunate enough to be able to help sell a home for some colleagues and friends, but I have 2 other homes that are currently listed on the market. One of them is a beautiful hideaway in Box Springs. The other one is a cute little investment property over in the Jordan Johnson area. So my fingers are crossed that, I will continue to develop and learn tools that I can use to help my clients meet their goals in the new year. So that was kind of a look backward, a really long look backward. And so now let me kind of look forward with you for 2019. So as you are well aware, I have a habit of biting off more than I can chew and then whining while I chew it and then going, man, that was tough when I'm done. But somehow I always manage to. So this year will be no different. One of my goals, one of my resolutions for this year is to learn to say no, so that way I can say yes to things that have more impact. I don't like to disappoint anybody. If you ask me, I'll bend over backward for you if I like you. But sometimes you have to say no to be able to say yes to other things. So that's something that I'm going to be very conscious about going forward. I want to be very conscious about teaching my son, kindness. I feel very fortunate that, this year we had a lot of transition with him too. He's 2 years old now, the big 2. And he went through 2 childcare providers. We lost the first one that we ever had who look after him when he was a teeny tiny baby. We then lost our second childcare provider, who's wonderful, and he loved playing with both families' kids. But now he gets to stay home with my mother-in-law. She comes over and watches him, so it's really nice that he gets to be taken care of by family. But one of the things he's lacking is the interaction with other kids that he used to get. So I want to be very conscious about giving him opportunities to learn those social skills with other children and to learn to be kind. I get that at this age, snatching stuff and smacking is kind of par for the course. But at the same time, I want him to understand at a very young age that his actions have impacts on others. And, I want him to be a force of good in the world out there. So, a few other resolutions that I have for the year. I resolve to be Rookie of the Year. I'm saying it right now. I'm claiming it. I'm going to be Rookie of the Year for both the Columbus Board of Realtors and Ken and Parker Duncan and Davis. And I got my eye on you, Phoenix City Board of Realtors. So I'm putting it out there. I'm staking my claim. I'm going to be Rookie of the Year. So I need your help with that. Okay. What that means is if you are planning on buying or selling your home this year, if you know anybody who is, I would really, really appreciate the referral. Just give them my number, give them a shout out. Let me call them if you give me their number, because I am not going to be able to meet that goal of 3 transactions per month and Rookie of the Year without some help from you all. Another goal that I have for myself, I said 3 transactions per month, and so that sounds kind of cold and harsh, but that's 3 families a month that I want to serve. That's 3 families that I want to help buy their first home or their 5th home or sell the home that they grew up in, So I really try to think about it as the impact that I'm having on people, on lives, and not just, contracts or whatever. Because, the paperwork's important because it is, in fact, a legal transaction, but the people are what's important. And I'm looking for 36 families to help in 2019. So the last resolution that I want to share with you is a little silly. I gotta admit, it's a little vain. You probably can't tell, but I'm beyond gray hair patch status. It's all up in here. And so it's and they're always wiry, right? The gray ones are always the crazy ones that you want to just, pull out, but then you can't because then they multiply, right? So my last goal, my last resolution, the last thing I resolve for 2019 is to give myself grace. And that sounds simple, but it's not hard because you see me picking apart the grays that I have on my head, which, by the way, they exploded this year. Year 2, between ages 12 months and 24 months of a kid, this is what happens. You go gray. Okay? I have more gray hairs than my mother. But I resolve to give myself grace, not only with my gray hairs, not only with the spare tire that I can't quite seem to get rid of, but give myself grace that I don't have to do it all. And I damn sure don't have to do it all right now. So I hope that you out there will hold me accountable for this and encourage me to just let it go. Because sometimes you have to. You have to say no so that you can say yes. Okay? One more bonus goal, and I know a lot of people probably are thinking along this line too, but I am actively going to be making some choices financially, so that way come this time next year we're going to be in a much stronger financial position as a family. And the Disney vacation that I have promised to my family this Christmas, for next Christmas, we're going to go, and it's going to be completely paid off, and it's going to be the most amazing thing, because 5 will be 3, and I've never been to Disney. So that's what my goal is for next year, in terms of the holiday celebration. So thank you for indulging me with a really, really long rant on 2018 reflections and 2019 goals. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If there's anything that resonates with you, anything that you're like, dude, I'm so on board, or no, you're crazy, you need to rethink that. Let me know. Tell me what you think, and I'd love to hear what your resolutions are. And if there's any way I can help you with that, if you just want an ear to kind of talk through some things, I'm open for that. And certainly, if there's anything I can help in terms of real estate, it would be an honor to serve you or your family members in that regard. So thank you. I hope you have a wonderful 2019. Go out there and crush it.